Aloha, and welcome to the final day of this first informal informational hearing. And today was a quite important day. It was a half-day session, but also had many afternoon meetings with Indigenous peoples to look at next steps. The first panel was actually looking at Indigenous peoples' priorities for sustainable development. What is significant and important about this is even that morning I was able to attend meetings with the chairs of the Open Working Group on Sustainable Development Goals. Those negotiations are actually taking place now and will continue and have one more meeting in July. But in that, Vicky Talikorpus, the new Special Rapporteur on Indigenous Peoples, spoke first to share what the biggest challenges are. One of the most important things she did point out was that we can't look to the current paradigm of profitability, ignoring humanity and ecology. She pointed out that Indigenous peoples' practices really are the best tools if the UN's trying to find solutions, because Indigenous peoples are always able to preserve and protect their land and also live in harmony with the earth, and more importantly, have a new perspective for the rest of the world that hasn't listened, unfortunately, for centuries. Another point that came up through that was also looking at what should be done next regarding the next steps. The Pacific Caucus asked some pertinent questions on how the Indigenous peoples will be able to participate after the Open Working Group concludes next month in July 18th, but more importantly, as it goes for a one-year negotiation from September 2014 to September 2015. Another good important part that did come up was the roadmap was finally clear. That's why we're here in the Rose Garden. Finally, it's blossoming. We can see what's gonna happen and where we're going. The next step will be the zero draft document. It will be prepared by June 30th. What's really important is that we all get a copy of that and read it. What's exciting also is MRIP gave a lot of statements, is now seen as one of the best bodies to reform, to focus on implementation. The chair, Willie Littlechild, said that we'd have discussions on the zero draft and more importantly, the World Conference. And this will be the last real global gathering for Indigenous peoples to meet prior to the next negotiation. The next negotiation was also announced. So thanks to pressure by the Pacific Caucus and other regions asking for exactly what's happening and when, so we could plan our travel, we were told then that July 16th will be the next hearing, and that will review the important zero draft that will be prepared on June 30th. Then there'll be many informals between July 16th, but the second important meeting will be August 18th on Monday. And then they'll do one more edit and some more informal negotiations. And then the important thing is then we'll have a document that'll be ready for the important World Conference on Indigenous Peoples, September 22nd and 23rd. So the last day was quite eventful. I was able to give a lot of people some answers that they wanted, and more importantly, know where they need to be and what they need to do prior to those important meetings. There's also meetings in the UN cafeteria where many different people came together with expertise of decades of doing this diplomatic efforts, and really realizing what can be done and how we can coordinate for these next important two phases. So an excellent first informational hearing over these 2 days, and we want to thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll keep you informed for the rest of the stages in the process. Maluhia me kapono.